My people, hello. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the studio as well. I want to do another behind the scenes video here in the studio and take you guys into the Disc Golf Nerd private reserve. What do I have on this stash here? Obviously not going to go into all of it, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth look into my studio and behind the scenes here in terms of the plastic itself. The channel's doing really bad right now. I'm seeing no growth essentially for the last couple months, and rather than chase trends and clickbait and whatever nonsense I'm supposed to be doing or people think I'm supposed to be doing, I'm just going to make videos that I want to make, that I think are fun and that are fun to make and fun to watch. And I'm going to try to cater more towards the people that like take the time to care about and follow the channel already. My OGs, my long-term fans, my subscribers, the dedicated viewers that actually look for the content, subscribe, and like watch it when it comes out. Imagine that. I thought it would be fun to dig into the studio a little bit more because I don't really give you guys much in terms of behind the scenes over the years. So if we swing over here just real quick, these are kind of the extra discs for review. A lot of stuff in this stack will probably get traded in to the Disc Golf Depot as well to bring in new stuff, but have some interesting stuff in here that I will make videos with. I have this Champion Groove in here. It's pretty funny. What else is in here? I got Xenons. These are in the queue to be reviewed relatively soon. These are the next thing to get filmed, but I just don't have room for them right here, so they're over here right now. A few other odds and ends. I got some comments over here. I showed you guys I got a couple of comments to do a review with. Down here are putters mostly. Some Yequan stuff like this Nature Yi sweet disc. Various odds and ends here. We got a couple of PA3s I'll review eventually. And then down here are mid-ranges, overstable, and then some understable mid-ranges, because I'll probably do an overstable mid-range comparison video to go along with the overstable approach disc video, which that's this down here is my approach collection. I think it's 25 molds. Awesome. Love it. Happy with that. So this right here are the kind of more current review discs, stuff that I'll bust out relatively soon that I've filmed recently that's kind of next up, more or less. I got the review done on the Angler and some other stuff from Wild Discs. Next up probably will be the Love from Jester Discs. Sweet disc, guys. These are awesome. Really, really nice flyers. Great plastic. And I got some Arowanas in here. You saw in my In the Bag video. The Prototype Rebels from Legacy. Pretty sweet. Got a couple of NSH discs hanging out in here like the Hexus. And then I have some one-speeds. I have a couple of glitches that I will review and then previously reviewed, but I have them for other content. I got a pair of Rattlers and a pair of Hydrogens. So all kind of Frisbee-shaped one-speeds. And I thought that would be fun to do a comparison fun type video with those eventually. Next, sitting on the review table itself, we have the most current stuff that just came into the inventory, including the newest disc from NSH Custom Discs, the Batleth, and this one is the Joey Disc Golf Signature Edition. So shout out to Joey. Congrats on becoming part of the family for NSH Custom Discs, getting a signature disc with a really interesting and unique company. And this thing's rad. Nice, stable, torque-resistant putter that you can put some pop on it backhand for sure. So I'll continue to test that one and mess around with it, but pretty dope. Got the black and green rim, clear top so the lettering comes through. Awesome disc. Okay, other than that, I got some Peace Trains. These are also from Jester Discs, and these are phenomenal. I really look forward to testing these more. I've only thrown that yellow one a couple times. This one's really beautiful, kind of shimmer and plastic. This one as well. Sent me 3 of them, so I'm stoked about that. And then I also have another brand new company that I hadn't really been on my radar before. This is Eurodisc. They hit me up about sending me over some plastic to try out. Transporter 76 -21 fairway driver. These are interesting because they have like a printed stamp. It's not a hot stamp. It's like printed on there, so it's multicolored and there's got a little bit of a textured feel under the hand. This one right here is their putter in a more baseline plastic, but you can still see that's got that interesting multicolor stamp motif. Also funny that they're sent me another disc with a anglerfish on it, like the Wild Discs angler that I just reviewed. And yeah, really cool looking stamp there. I like the colors on this one. This is a straight flying mid-range 5500. Here's another one here with the squirrel on there. So that's the stuff that just came into the inventory. I'll do a proper unboxing on those once I get a chance to throw them a couple times at least and give you guys somewhat of an idea of what to expect. Down here, we're not going to dig into very much. These are like throwing putters, more or less. Putters I hold on to in case like a new player wants to come out to try disc golf. You know, I got links and magnets and pures and stuff in here that would all be good options for that. And then some other kind of discs that I hold on to just to kind of do comparison videos and stuff, some beaded putters, that sort of thing. I got a Koi down here. That's a pretty sweet disc I hold on to for myself. Probably the most interesting thing in here would be the prototype Hydrogen Alpha Solid. This is a legit prototype of the, you know, kind of a printed test stamp. This is the Disc King Lex. My old friend, the Disc King, used to send me a bunch of plastic back in the day. Haven't heard from him in a long time now, but he tried to start molding plastic, and this was the first attempt, but I think it kind of halted there from what I know. Nothing else terribly interesting down there. Okay, beyond the action figures here, we got Peanut hanging out on the Heiser disc rack. On top of the Heiser disc rack is my Rebel with my current bag setup and the most kind of current throwers that I'm using. It's funny, every single time I posted in the bag video, I immediately changed my bag around right after that. It's just like this weird thing that happens. It's been going on for years and years now. So I just kind of embraced it. You know, I posted in the bag video, and that's kind of a signal that something's about to change. Nothing super major, but I did swap things around right away, pretty much. I got a new dagger in here, sweet Fort Stevens dagger for throwing, principally. Laser beam flyer. Love that disc already. First throw ever with that disc was an absolute park job. Hit the base of the pin, so that's always good. I got my main workhorse Defiant in here right now. I got a Mr. Putt. The harp is kind of ever present. Sometimes I'll just carry a Mr. Putt or just a harp, but it's nice to have both if I can fit them. I got the magnet in here, another Defiant. I switched back to this fuse shortly after mine in the bag, this aperture one. This seems to be my favorite one. Put the Gobi and this EMAC back in, and I'm throwing them both again quite a bit. I like the stability of this EMAC from my game right now. I'm trying to throw more flat shots, and it works out well for that. Some Valkyries. This little old pre-Sweden Escape that I intend to test, but I haven't played much lately, you know, for whatever reason, guys. I just really haven't been. I've been paddling and doing other stuff, fishing and whatnot. This is the Orbit Escape. Only thrown this a couple times, but positive signs so far. The Felon, a couple of Wraiths. This is an NX01 from NSH Custom Discs. And then I found this gummy Champion Destroyer that I wanted to test a little bit as well. Beyond that, I have my old shift over here, my first original green one that I'm not going to ever get rid of. This is the most current version from this year with the recycled materials, the same colorway as the Rebel. This is the one I'm most likely to carry. This is the shift I've been carrying the most this year, and it's for fishing. It's actually works out extremely well as a fishing backpack as well. So I got tackle boxes popped in these slide in side pockets here on both sides. The water bottle holder is great. A lot of fishing and regular backpacks don't really give you a great way to haul like a big heavy water bottle, like a 40 ounce or whatever. This works great. Vertical pockets inside, tools and soft plastics up here. And then I have, you know, baits and bobbers and power bait and stuff. And then in the bottom, I can put my line and some gloves and like a rag, all that type of stuff. The mini pocket, still perfect for my handkerchief. It's really funny how effective it is as a fishing backpack. I honestly think they could probably sell these as fishing backpacks. I don't think anybody would really question it. I have some tools over here. Works out awesome. Down here is the Pinch Pro. Carried this one quite a bit after it came out up until recently, but I've been rocking the Rebel for the summer just because I want extra room for layers and stuff because I sweat a lot. So I'll often change my shirt mid-round these days with how much water I take in and how much I sweat on the course. It just keeps me a lot more comfortable that way. And now we can dig into the bulk of the storage, the Heiser disc rack. Now, you guys know, I've mentioned it a few times, Heiser disc rack sent me this awesome rack, and it completely revolutionized the way I store plastic and was able to set up this studio back here. You know, before that, I had everything in these milk crates, so they were stacked up. I'd have to take one off the top to get to the stuff underneath. They slide around the floor and scratch my wood floor. All of that was completely eliminated by adding this Heiser disc rack to my studio. It's just been phenomenal. And obviously you can see it holds a boatload of plastic. So it's really changed the amount of plastic I can keep in the inventory to make content with going forward. So highly recommend getting one of these. If they're a little bit spendy, but I mean, the thing's steel, it's rock solid, and it'll last you forever. So put it in your garage, your living room. It doesn't look out of place either. Like, I think it looks quite nice, colorful plastic and stuff. I would have this in my living room without much issue, but it works out really well back here. Enough said about that. Just wanted to give them credit where it's due, because it has really made a huge difference with the way I can arrange everything back here and the amount of plastic that I can keep in the inventory. We are going to start down here, and I'm going to try to keep you guys from seeing any ink on any of these discs. If you see any blurs or anything pop up, that's the only reason that's happening. These are magnets down here. I got some, those orange ones are 3 and 4 chains, and this is a 4 chain, right? I think this is an old, yeah, this is an old 4 chain as well. Super beat. Talk about beat. Look at this guy. This guy is just absolutely beat to shit, but it is still functional. I know I could bag this tomorrow and know how to use it. It's super flippy, so you got to put it on hyzer, but other than that, I mean, it's totally fine. Readjust. That's about it down there in that corner. We got caltrops here, including my Ace caltrop. I got a Berg hiding down here because, you know, it's one that I should have in the inventory somewhere. What else is even down here? I don't even freaking know. Oh, there's more caltrops down here. Deco caltrop. This is a great one. We got some nice Riki Waisaki compasses down here. This is probably the nicest one in terms of throwers. It is a 2-time world champ Gold X that Anthony got me years back, and really nice. Awesome flyer, but I just don't really use the compasses anymore. The Gobies kind of kicked them out. Down here are other drivers, throwers that I used to use and are no longer kind of in the first string of discs that I would throw. So we got Thrashers down here, of course. Still hold on to a few of those if anybody's looking for any of those. And as we go through all this, like, if you guys are looking for any of these discs, you know, you want to make me an offer on something, feel free. I'm not super precious about any of this stuff, so, you know, I would definitely look at offers and stuff if you're into that sort of thing. If you're looking for something, I like to hook up with people with discs that they're looking for and that they would enjoy having, maybe throw, get it off my shelf, just kind of hanging out here. So yeah, we got Thrashers over here. You guys have seen those a million times. These are pretty cool. My old pre-Sweden Trespasses. This is a sweet old green Lucid one. You're not going to see a lot of those on the market. Those are pretty rare, that green Lucid optoplastic like that. This one's got the sweet Cobra die on it from years back. This is a PD2. It's Koi Pond PD2 I found in the pond and was unable to return it to its owner. Nice thrower PD2, probably real stable if anybody's into that sort of thing. What else is on here? I got a Draco, Firebird. This is an old nuke I should probably just trade in at this point, but I hold on to just in case. This is one of my oldest discs, actually. This is a Stalker. Would have been in one of my very early in the bag videos. Great disc. I really love that one for a long time. Just not using it now. Vader in here. This is my first ever glue die. Still looks pretty sweet, I think. On a Ballista, I got the Chandler Surge. Air River, we got an Eagle. I got a nice Yuli Tour Series Raptor. Should probably go in like a actual, you know, storage box somewhere or something. And that's about it. I think there's a Halo Destroyer, a couple of Phenoms on there. Over onto this shelf here, we have my thrower Gobies, which are these guys right here. Keep a few of these just kind of hanging out. They're all real fingerprinty. This one was in the bag not too long ago. The rest of these may or may not have been in the bag at all. This one's super sweet. This black first run. Super fingerprinty as well, but grips like crazy. Awesome flyer. Always like that one. A little bit more stable than some others. Hold on to a few fuses, of course. I got a nice older gold line one. My original purple one. I got a McRae. This is a cool disc. Shout out to my man Max Garcia. Sent me this Soft Justice. They started producing these again, so now they're not as difficult to find, but this was a rare beast at the time, and I really like it. It's just a little too specialized for my bag, so I hadn't used it. I was using this Justice right here. Really rad double spin die top and bottom, pretty cool. Then I got a couple of nice dyed fuses here. I'll probably let go as well if anybody's looking. And swinging over to this side, we got backup dagger. These are the ones that I've been putting, these green ones here, but I switched to the white one, and the orange ones are just a little bit more stable. This Nexus right here is a great flyer. This is a Snowflake Nexus from the winter time. This was my number one Disc Golf Nerd Defiant for a while there. This red rainbow rim one, super sick. This is another backup one. And I got some Opto Pures. Got a really nice dyed Carnage Harp on here that only is out of my bag because Anthony dyed me that other one, and they're very similar, so I like to have my friend's artwork on there. I think that's cool. Prototype Slammer, really nice TP harp. This is another beautiful dyed harp if anybody's looking for one. It's one of my better glue dyes. I would let this one go, but it's really sweet, so I've been holding on to it, but rather somebody could throw it if they could. And rounding it out, I'm going to try to keep this video under 25 minutes, although, you know, whatever, really. You guys can watch as much of it as you want to and skim through it. It's not like that's not how YouTube works. I got a Madison crab disc here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I might eBay this one or something. I got it as a wall hanger, and it keeps falling off of my wall. Something about the shape of the rim, it just keeps falling off as I'm playing drums and stuff, so it's not doing its job. And I don't want it to keep landing on the ground and get beat up, because it's like a collector disc, so it's stupid. Grogu's in here. I got an It. I got a really sweet NX01. This one's got the Half-Life motif. Shout out to NSH Custom Discs. As you guys know, my code, before we round out the video, my code, Disc Golf Nerd 10, get you guys 10% off anything you need from Upper Park or any of the non-Tour Series plastic from NSH Custom Discs as well. So I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys. I got Dick Fury on here. Easily my best ace disc of all time. I got a sweet Air Havoc. This is another Havoc. There's a lot of Havocs on here. This is an Escape. Another It. This is an older Thrasher that Andy got me that I might bag again just to see how it flies now. I haven't tossed it in a while. 2017. Old Leopard. Havoc. DX Valkyries from review number 300. DX It. This is a Rathbun Felon. That's a nice flyer. Then we got the, look at this thing. This is, honestly, out of all the discs I have, this might be, I'm trying not to show you my ink again, but this might be the most beautiful disc in my entire inventory. I mean, look at this thing. It's so vibrant that cameras can't even really handle it, and it almost like is like painful to look at out in the sun. But I mean, how could you ever lose this disc? If you if you can't find this, you threw this into a really bad spot. And then, you know, honestly, couldn't be much more similar than it is. The Royal Rive, these Orbit Rives and that Halo Destroyer, I got them both to try to review, but just being perfectly honest, they're so beefy and stable at the speed they are and the stability they have for my arm, that's just kind of embarrassing. I don't think it's really useful for me to even throw them, for you guys to see me throw them, because I can't throw them very much at all. I can get the Rive to fly a bit, or the Destroyer if I really yank them over or something, but it's not really relevant for me to review them, so I kind of just let that go and moved on to other stuff. Great thrower Escape. This is a Protostar It. That's nice. This is a cool Havoc. One of these. I got a couple of these nice metallic old school ones. Pre-Flight Valkyrie that I also found in the pond. Got a Ricky Felon backup. Boreum. Ultra Fast Boreum. This is my first ever Havoc from my good friend Chris Caulfield, huge supporter of the channel for many years now. Shout out to him. I hold on to that one out of respect. And yeah, this guy right here is a nice flippy kind of beat-in Havoc. This one I should probably start bagging again. Only stopped bagging it because the Ricky Felon is so clutch, but this is a really nice Mononoke die. One of my best, or one of my only stencil dies, but came out just about perfect. Had this one little bleed right there, but it kind of worked in the context of like her neck shape, so it never really bothered me. And then I actually did the red with just Sharpie, and it still looks just as good as the die, which is funny. Another old Goldline Havoc, more of a newer run. That's my Air, that's real flippy. This is another Opto X one that Andy got me. Rounding it out here, what else do we got? This is a backup Pioneer, and then these are some Furies. I don't know what this is. This is a Culverin. I got a few Culverins floating around. Great mold. And yeah, that's about it. You know, old pre-Sweden Fury. This is a sweet flyer. A little bit more stable than some of my other ones maybe. But look at that, 23.50 on my count. I'll trim some of this out, so we should keep it under 25 minutes. There we go. I want to just kind of have fun with you guys, show you all some stuff that you might not have seen, and some stuff that you might have seen on previous videos years ago. And yeah, maybe you'll be interested to see what I'm still holding on to and all that sort of stuff. And just wanted to give another heartfelt thank you to everybody who helps to support me. This endeavor has been really frustrating of late. YouTube is in a really weird spot just across the board. My channel is suffering for it mightily, but I'm not giving up yet. I'm still here. I'm going to still do what I'm doing. I still got a lot of plastic to test, and I still love testing the plastic. I still love throwing the disc. I still love the flight of a disc, and I still love you guys. My feelings about the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the whole pro side of things are vastly different than they were a couple of years ago, but that's life, you know. You can't always, nothing lasts forever. It was a good run there, but I still love the flight of a disc, and I still love all of you. Shout out to the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team as always. One huge way that you can help support me and the channel directly is to sign up to that. Those people and their support, even beyond the financial support, just knowing that those people cared about me and the channel enough to sign up to do that, has been a driving force for continuing to get me through a lot of the little hiccups and stuff that I've dealt with over the years. Last thing I'm going to give you a peek at is the original legit prototype Defiant before it actually got finished. This one's a little bit sharper edged, and I don't think the PDGA liked this design. So then it became this one, which is my #1 that I have just kind of hanging out here on the shelf because I don't want to lose it. That's it. I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.